युधश्वजेतासि रणे सपत्नान् द्रोणं च भीष्मं च जयद्रथं च कर्णं तथान्यानपि योधवीरान् मया हतांस्त्वं जहिमा व्यथिष्ठा युधश्वजेतासि रणे सपत्नान्. वटवोष्णोरम ट्रांसलेशन एंड purport by Jagatguru Srila Prabhupada. Jagatguru Srila Prabhupada की जय. द्रोणम च, also Drona. Bhishmam cha, also Bhishma. Jayadratham cha, also Jayadratha. Karnam, also Karna. Tatha, also Anya, others. Api, certainly. Yodha Veeran, great warrior. Maya, by me. Hathan, already killed. Tvam, you. Jahi, become victorious. Ma, never. Vyatishtaha, be disturbed. Yudhyashva, just fight. Jetasi, just conquer. Rane, in the fight. Sapatnam, enemies. So, also Drona, also Bhishma, also Jayadratha, also Karan, also others. Certainly, great warriors by me already killed. You become victorious. Never be disturbed. Just fight. Just conquer. In the fight, enemies. Translation. The blessed Lord said, all the great warriors, Drona, Bhishma, Jayadratha, Karan, are already destroyed. Simply fight and you will vanquish your enemy. Purpose. Every plan is made by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but He is so kind and merciful to His devotees that He wants to give the credit to His devotees who carry out His plan according to His desire. Life should therefore move in such a way that everyone acts in Krishna consciousness and understands the Supreme Personality of Godhead through the medium of a spiritual master. The plans of the Supreme Personality of Godhead are understood by His mercy, and the plans of the devotees are as good as His plans. One should follow such plans and be victorious in the struggle for evolution. Yes, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So, first of all, uh, I want to share points from the previous mantras, previous verse that I didn't attend the class last Wednesday. So I was listening, and the couple of words that stuck out for me from the previous verse is Nimitta Matram and plan and Savyasati. Savyasati. So Nimitta Matra means just a cause or instrument, and Savyasati means expert in shooting arrows. So devotees discussed about the plans of Krishna, that everything happens by the plan of Krishna. And another point, that expert in services, that we need to be will be need to be expert in our devotional service. So and Prabhuji shared that about the Jarasandha, that he came to fight 17 times. Why? Because this was Krishna's plan. And Jarasandha every time came with all the demons to fight with Krishna, and Krishna killing all the demons and spare Jarasandha to bring more. So Krishna's plan is perfect. although we cannot understand Krishna's plan. And that's the point will come in today's verse. And as Srila Prabhupada said, that Krishna's devotee plan are as good as his plan. So this is a continuation from the last verse to this verse now. So today's verse, that the first point that in this verse, that how Krishna's devotee's plan is as good as Krishna's plan, because pure devotee of Krishna is one with Krishna, and he will not do anything which is not Krishna conscious. And Krishna takes charge of his devotees directly. So, like Srila Prabhupada preached Krishna consciousness all over the world, and Srila Prabhupada planned expertly in dealings with people in different countries and established Krishna consciousness successfully. So all the plans uh, by Srila Prabhupada is made by Srila Prabhupada are in line with Krishna's plan. So for me, I have realized that I have to learn to become part of the plan of Srila Prabhupada and Srila Gurudev in preaching. As Krishna is saying here that all the big warriors are already destroyed by me, just kill them. So Krishna consciousness movement is going to be spread in every village and town, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu already done it, and Srila Prabhupada has already established the movement all all over the world. So it's just up to us to become a part of it or not. So that's Krishna's plan, you know. And the second point is that how I understand what is the plan and how to become part of the plan. As Srila Prabhupada is saying here that the plans of the Supreme Personality of Godhead are understood via the medium of spiritual master. So so this is the point that I have realized that it's not our whimsically thinking and according to our comfort that we follow Krishna consciousness or do preaching. We need to be uh, under the bona fide shelter and then follow the particular mood, which takes time to understand and molding our lives according to the mood. Because next, when Srila Prabhupada is saying that the plans of pure devotee is as good as Krishna's plan, and one should follow such plans and be victorious in struggle for existence. Yes, we all stuck in this struggle for existence, but to become victorious, we have to follow the instructions of our spiritual master sincerely. So Srila Prabhupada said that the laws of material nature are so hard and fast that they do not allow anyone to surpass them. The only way to victorious is to be part of Krishna's plan. So yeah, so the way I understood these instructions, that the understanding the mood of one's spiritual master and the way of preaching and the instructions very sincerely, then only we can understand the plan of Krishna. Otherwise, otherwise we will be doing it whimsically or doing it not bona fide way, and that is not plan for Krishna. So the plan for Krishna, to understand it, we have to come under the shelter of a bona fide spiritual master, because we're not understanding it. We're not able to understand by our own strength. So uh, these couple of main points that I realized from this verse. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you, Sanjay Prabhu, for your nice realization. Thank you, Ambrish Prabhu. Thank you, Purnapada Devi Dashi Mataji. Thank you, Krishna Das, for giving us training and providing this platform to give the realization. So we are on Bhagavad Gita chapter 11, verse 34, the universal form. Translation: The blessed Lord said, all the great warriors, Drona, Bhishma, Jayadratha, Karna, are already destroyed. Simply fight and you will vanquish your enemies. So, like Sanjay Prabhu has already mentioned that the plans, so we have to be, God has plans, and when you want to be in God's plan, one must be really sincere and one must understand what is the God's plan. To understand that, one has to be always be in Srila Prabhupada's book, be in the association of the devotees, and sincere. One should be sincere. So I come across one with Srila Prabhupada's lecture on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 19, verse 32, where Srila Prabhupada mentioned that if one connects himself with Hare, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Lord takes away all his miseries. And in the beginning, the Lord also superficially appears to take away all his material possessions, reputation, education, and beauty. Lord said to Maharaj Yudhishthir that the first installment of my mercy towards devotee is that I take away all his possessions, especially his material opulences, his money. So this is the special favor of the Lord towards a sincere devotee. If a sincere devotee wants Krishna above everything, but at the same time is attached to material possessions which hinder his advancement in Krishna consciousness by the tactics of the Lord, takes away all his possessions. So if one delivers his mind to the lotus feet of Krishna, one can naturally sacrifice everything to satisfy him. Although Bali Maharaj was a devotee, he was attached to material possessions, and therefore the Lord, being very kind to him, showed him a special favor by appearing as a Lord, as Lord Vaman, to take away all his material possessions and his mind as well. But Srila Prabhupada says that in certain stage, the Lord is so kind to his devotee that when he takes everything, but when he takes the taste, the Lord gives him a necessary strength to be tolerant and continue to remain a glorious devotee. Also in another Srila Prabhupada's lecture in teaching of Queen Kunti, chapter 10, there Srila Prabhupada emphasize on how the Lord's mercy is like, and how the sincere devotee should follow the Krishna's plan. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, Lord Krishna says, if someone wants me, but at the same time wants material prosperity, he is fool. Krishna is so kind that if one wants material prosperity, but at the same time wants to become a devotee, Krishna makes him a failure in material life. Therefore, people are very, Srila Prabhupada says that sometimes the people are very, very much afraid in coming to Krishna consciousness. But generally people, like also Srila Prabhupada given an example about the people, those who go to church, temple, and pray God, but they for only material prosperity. God give us bread, God give me this, God give me that. But they approach for their material prosperity. But thereby Srila Prabhupada says that those people are considered as a pious because they approach God, unlike like atheists. They always wants to have their own happiness. They have to create their own wealth, have abundance of science, or they think that everything belongs to me, belongs to themselves. Not, they don't consider God as anything. So so we have to discover many methods to which the counteract distress But when freedom from such distress is not sanctioned by God, these methods will fall. For example, also Srila Prabhupada has given a very good example about the sick man. If he is sick and he approached to the doctor, qualified doctor, and uh, then the patient asks, are you going to give me the guarantee when the person is really sick? But doctor always says, yeah, I'm going to try my level best. I will try. But he will never say that, yes, I will give you 100% guarantee. So that's actually, Srila says, that's a doctor's intelligence. That's why he says that. But ultimately, Srila says that ultimate sanction is in the hand of God. Simply, God is a simply and the doctor is there like a simply an instrument. But if God does not want to patient to live, then all the medicine or everything will be fail. So we must understand that how God and His hand is so important. So with our whatever intelligence we have, we must try to become happy. But without Krishna's sanction, no one can be happy. So there also Krishna says further that one who tries to approach me to become Krishna consciousness, but at the same time wants to become materially happy, is not very intelligent. He is wasting his time. And our main business is to become Krishna consciousness, and that is the main business of human life. If we waste our time striving for material improvement or forget to chant Hare Krishna, that will be the great loss. Therefore, Krishna says, Ami vijana ye Ami vijna ye murkhe vishaya kena diba. Chaitanya Chaitram Madhya, chapter 22, verse 39. A rascal may some material prosperity. They ask for material prosperity from me in exchange of discharging devotional service. But why shall I give? Why shall I give them? Why shall I give him material prosperity? Rather, whatever he has, I shall take away. So when our material assets are taken away, we become very more morose. But that is the taste. That is stated in Krishna by Krishna himself to Yudhishthira Maharaj. Yudhishthira Maharaj inquired Krishna, we are completely dependent on you. We are suffering materially so much. Our kingdom has been taken away. Our wife has been insulted. Our enemies are attempted to burn us in our house. How can do this? Krishna replies there that yes, that is my first business. If I specially favor someone, then I take away all his source of income and place him into a great difficulty. Even Srila Prabhupada has given his own example. Srila Prabhupada said that he had an opportunity to meet his spiritual master, and spiritual master told him that you can preach. But Srila Prabhupada said that no, I want you to become first rich and then use that money for preaching work. He had a good business. Srila Prabhupada and one of his astrologers said that you will become the healthiest person in India. And business was really doing well. But somehow, Srila Prabhupada said that this business, that time the business was very successful. But eventually everything collapsed. And Srila Prabhupada said that he was forced into the position of carrying out his orders by his Guru Maharaj. And when all material assets were taken away, then Srila Prabhupada approached Krishna saying that you are only my shelter. Therefore, Krishna is akinchana vita, the property of the materially impoverished when one is bereft of all material opulences. That one turns to Krishna. And now Srila Prabhupada says, I am realizing that I have not lost anything, but I gain. So my ultimate goal of understanding this particular verse is, so I had to practice my spiritual practice and develop loving personal relationship with God. I should always encourage myself to approach Krishna with love and devotion daily. Recognize that Krishna's presence and guidance in all aspects of life, and also cultivate devotion through loving service and surrender to Krishna. So, Hare Krishna, this is my realization.
Hare Krishna, where do you please? Thank you, Krishna for training us and giving us the platform to share our realization. And thank you, Sanjeev Prabhu, for part of that. Have a very nice realization. So, today's verse, Bhagavad Gita chapter 11, verse 34. Dronam Bhishmam Dayadikam Karnam Tathanyan Patiyodavira Maya Hatam Swam Dahima Pratishta Vidas Jetasi Rani Tatatnam. Drone, Bhishma, Jayadratha, Karan, and other great warriors have already been destroyed by me.
Prabhuji, your voice is not very clear, Prabhuji. It's coming and going. Can you do something about it, Prabhuji, please?
I'm outside probably because I'm not at the home. It's just network from the mobile probably.
Yes. Maybe you can speak a little loudly. Understand.
Yes, probably. I'm using the headset just to cancel the background noise.
Okay. See how
Can
you
you
go.
hear me now?
Yeah, see how you go. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. So Drone, Bhish, Devdra, Karna, and the other great warriors have already been destroyed by me. Therefore, kill them and do not be disturbed. Simply fight, and you will vanquish your enemies in battle. So this is the continuation from the previous verse. So we discussed that Krishna has planned for everyone, and we are just an instrument, a minute mark. So here, the further assurance is given by Krishna that actually all the great warriors, including Drona, Bhishma, Karna, and Jayadratha, they all be killed. All the great warriors along with them, already been destroyed by Krishna. And it's just actually he's asking Arjuna that to actually fight and kill them and take the actually credit. Glory is Arjuna. Just by actually following the actually instruction of Krishna. So Krishna, he has planned everything, and everything will happen according to his plan only. Even Arjuna actually, if he choose to actually follow the instruction, he will actually get all the credit for killing all those great warriors. Even if you do not fight, still they will be actually destroyed, because that is actually will of the Lord. So meditating on this point, as we discussed in the last session, that we are all limit markers. We're just an instrument in the hands of the Lord. So as he has a plan there in Kurukshetra, the battlefield, he also has a plan for every one of us, for all the living entities. Even sometimes, actually, we doubt that actually, does Krishna really have plan for everyone? Because sometimes the way things happen in our life, sometimes actually normally people who do not have actually faith in actually God, they always question this, that actually where is God? He do not have plan for me, or actually what he's doing when I'm suffering and all that. So fortunately, we come into actually contact with Srila Prabhupada and Srila Gurudev and Hare Krishna WECAN. So we are at least we understood that actually we are part and parcel of the Krishna, and we are actually as a part and parcel. Krishna loves everyone, so he does have plan for everyone. That we sometimes we just fail to actually understand his plan. So here, actually, one more point actually that stands out is that actually all the great warriors are mentioned here. Drona, Bhishma, and Karna, and also there's a mention of Jayadratha. So Jayadratha is not as great as Bhishma and Drona or Karna. So why he was mentioned here? So I was actually try to find out, and actually I got this information where it's mentioned that Jayadratha, he also got a boon from Lord Shiva, that the boon was that he can able to actually stop the Pandavas at once in the battlefield. That's why actually maybe Arjuna has a doubt. And to clear that doubt, actually Krishna specifically mentioned the name of Jayadratha, that do not worry. All these great warriors, they all been actually destroyed. Your duty is to just follow my instruction, be the instrument, and he will be victorious. You do not have to worry. So the special assurance is given. While in the initially in chapter 2, actually Arjuna was he's in a dilemma. He wasn't sure where he actually mentioned in 2.6, where it says that whether to conquer them or be conquered. So he was in actually bewildered state, what to do. So again here the Krishna clearly he gives assurance. He is the supreme personality of Godhead, so there should not be any doubt. Who has full faith in Krishna, that every word actually coming out of his mouth is going to happen. That's for sure. So for us as well, on this path of actually devotional service, we also try to actually be Krishna conscious. The second point, second part of the first, Srila Prabhupada says that the plan of the Krishna is revealed to the spiritual master. And in many lectures I heard Srila Prabhupada mention, it came into my reading, that actually Krishna manifests to everyone, especially to his devotees, in the form of a spiritual master, the Guru. So the role of the Guru is very important in the life of a devotee. And as we also discussed, Amrish Prabhu mentioned this part in the past as well, that the pure devotee and Krishna, they are their mind is one, they're one and same. So the mission of the Lord Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and the mission of the devotee, they are one and same. There is no difference. So that is another maybe one more point that we can understand. Just looking at the spiritual master, we can identify this pure devotee, because the Krishna's plan and the spiritual master's plan, they're always in line. So when one surrender to the spiritual master, it is said that yasya prasada Bhagavad prasada yasya prasadani nagatinti topi bhayan sumam tasya yasya srisandan vande gurorshi charnaradi. So by pleasing spiritual master is very, very important. And by pleasing means following his instruction. So if we can able to do that, then we can easily achieve the mercy of the Lord, Lord Shri Krishna. But by not pleasing him, there is no chance. So it's very important that we should follow the instruction of the spiritual master seriously. And there is also one of the offense, when we recite all the offenses, I think it's a third offense, where it is mentioned that it's offense not to follow the orders of the spiritual master. So as we know that when Sanjay Prabhu mentioned that Srila Prabhupada he followed the orders of his Guru very seriously. He took that as a mission of his life, and he preached in the West. And that's how the Hare Krishna movement it spread across the world. And we are still receiving that mercy. So we have seen that practically, and that will further make our faith stronger. So it is very important. And for us, it is also mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam first canto that we want to also achieve the get to the separation or Dhambuta, where we can able to render the pure devotional service. So what we're trying to do, we are still, I'm very much contaminated. And we still want to do some, that is what we call a mission. But we all but I also want to progress, get to the stage one day. So I memorize that verse, transcendental service, one can achieve the causeless knowledge and detachment. So knowledge is very, very important. Detachment. And as in the actually we're born in this material world, we are very much attached to these material things, and that becomes actually progression. And we still very much actually, actually get anxious about achieving our material goals. So achieving the detachment is very important, and that is not possible without the knowledge. And the knowledge is actually given by spiritual master. So actually, in the purport, when we study, actually, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is mentioned that Srila Prabhupada writes that Krishna is always guiding everyone. And as a Chaitya Guru, he's actually directing all the living entities from within the heart. And actually, externally, he manifests himself as a spiritual master and through his instruction and the Shastras. So actually, the serious devotee is guided by internally and externally. So he's very much protected. So sincerity is very, very important. And actually, if you want to receive the knowledge, then actually we always mention there that yasya deve para bhakti yatha deve tatha guru. So actually, by actually following the spiritual master, then actually all the imports of the actually Vedas, they are actually automatically revealed. So this is very important in order to actually receive and realize the knowledge. One has to follow sincerely the spiritual master, and by following spiritual master, you are automatically following Lord Krishna, the instruction given in Bhagavad Gita. So, and that is what I realized. So basically, here Arjuna is actually following the orders of the Krishna. He's acting according to his plan, and thus he will become a victorious. So, for us is very also it's quite simple that by following the instruction given by spiritual master, or actually instruction given and instruction given in the actually scriptures, we can able to be actually victorious. And victorious means actually we will able to achieve that stage where we can render the pure devotional service. So that is what I realized from this verse. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you, Amrish Prabhu. Thank you, Purna Pragna Devidasi Mataji, and thank you, Krishna Prabhu, for keeping us engaged. That's the most important thing, I think, I feel. Yeah, today's verse is 11:34, chapter 11, verse 34. Dodam cha bhishmam cha jayadatam cha karnam tathanyanapi yodaviran. Maya hatantastam jahima vyatishta yuddhasva jetasi rane sapatnan. Translation purport in Srila The Blessed Lord said, all the great warriors, Drona, Bhishma, Jayadratha, Karna, are already destroyed. Simply fight and you will vanquish your enemies. Thank you, Sanjeev Prabhu, Sopan Prabhu, and Sridhar Prabhu for very nicely covering very important points and sharing your realizations. So, as Maharaj would say that Srila Prabhupada's purports are more important than what Vyasadeva has written, Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. That's Maharaj saying like this. And when I was reading Maharaj, one of the quotes posted on our website, WECAN website, it says that in Bhagavatam there are 18,000 slokas, but each verse is full Bhagavatam. You take any verse, it is as good as full Bhagavatam, because Bhagavatam is Krishna and Krishna is always complete, whole. And same with Bhagavad Gita also, when Krishna himself talking. So same here, when we read one verse, the entire Bhagavad Gita, entire thing, the entire knowledge is manifesting in front of us, depending upon our surrender, depending upon our mood, and depending upon our mindset. And then Prabhupada writes the purport so nicely, and devotees then describing it, sharing their own realizations. So, Prabhupada, the last line I would like to emphasize, one should follow such plans and be victorious in the struggle for existence. That's my take from this verse purport, very practical, that how do we implement this knowledge in our life? The problem is, as I always say, the problem is not knowledge, the problem is actually implementing knowledge. Yeah, realizing those knowledge, and we can realize only once we start practicing. Otherwise, we may have big degrees, we'll be PhDs and all that, but we'll not have a practical knowledge and we'll not know how to apply this knowledge. And Maharaj said that one verse is enough for us. Even he's privately giving that instruction to me also. That one verse is enough for anyone to take back to Godhead. Now here Arjuna's situation is like this, that his family, his guru, his granddad, everybody wants to kill him. Imagine if our family comes here to kill us. And before that, they have taken everything away from him. His possessions, his land, his family was harassed, robbed, tried to kill them, and then now and that's Arjuna's situation. And Arjuna is fighting almost an impossible war, which he can ever win. But he has Krishna's mercy and is Krishna himself there. So that's the situation where this Gita is being spoken. And I think we are in much better situation as a devotee, as a human being. Although we feel that our body, our circumstances, our situation, our own mind is a challenge for us. We find our own ways and apply philosophy the way we want to apply or give excuses. So when we look at Arjuna's situation and then look at Krishna's instructions and we want to practice those or we want to realize those knowledge, we follow the entire system of Guru Shishya Parampara. And that's why we feel so blessed when we come in the shelter of Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj, that Maharaj talks about practical realization, applying this knowledge, otherwise it's all waste of time. So I feel that when I talk to so many people, or almost 4 or 5 sessions we have from young children to mature parents and then youth group and then all those classes, I feel that preaching or giving this knowledge to people in general is becoming harder. As we all say that their intelligence actually, they're becoming more dumb. Sorry to say like this, but they don't want to understand or they don't understand or the situation like this. We see that Kali Yuga is progressing so rapidly. The modern world is engaging in only sense gratification. Only everywhere there is a war. I was telling them that today only that if you take any verse of Bhagavad Gita, the world today is just opposite of that. So how to actually preach this knowledge? And I tell them it is not your problem, it is your parents' problem. Who has educated you like this? Because we learn all the things from our parents. So it's a generation problem where people just cannot understand this knowledge. And Krishna and Maharaj are trying to keep us engaged to purify our life so that whatever we can preach, that's what we understand. That's what Maharaj says. And in this regard, that famous verse, which I always try to keep myself in my head, is that Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojitaha Janayatyasu Vairagyam Jnanam Cha Dahaitukam. So by rendering devotional service unto the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, one immediately acquires causeless knowledge and detachment from the world. The process of getting knowledge, and that too causeless knowledge and detachment from the world, is by devotional service. And at Hare Krishna weekend devotees, we are practicing to be preaching organization, or we want to preach so that we are engaged, and by doing that service of preaching, we develop that causeless knowledge, that realization and detachment. So that's so important, and that's the only way then we can understand the real meaning of this verse 1134, where Krishna is saying that simply fight and you will vanquish your enemies. And we're all fighting in our lifetime, or in our day-to-day life. We're all fighting. We're all fighting like what Arjuna was doing. Of course, we can't see enemies, But people want to take your money away. People want to take your things away. People want to kill you. People want to rob you, and they make a lot of rules. And that's our situation. But this Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, as Maharaj would say, can only protect us. Otherwise, it is next to impossible. And so my take from this verse will be to remain engaged in that devotional service, whatever we can do, and practically realizing this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. Thank you, devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you very much for your very nice realization. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for giving us this great opportunity to read and then share our realization. Dronam ja bhishmam ja jayantratam cha karanam tathanyam apyodhaviram maya hatam svam jahima vyastistha Yuthashvacheta sirane spatnam spatnam spatnam. I realize when the verse says that the life should therefore move in such a way that everyone acts in Krishna consciousness and understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead through the medium of a spiritual master. So we realize that how important is the role of a spiritual master in our lives. That we all know, we always take the the guidance from the spiritual master. It is we don't have like it's a big lane of coming up from Sri Krishna by himself. And when there are instruction given by the spiritual master, even if we know that we know that what we are supposed to do, but we must strictly follow the instructions, and we still need the guidance from our spiritual master, even if we know the whole process. And if we take the instruction that and it helps us to achieve our goals in Krishna consciousness. As we know that how Arjuna took Krishna's instruction, and he was not regretted, even though he was opposed of Krishna's instruction initially. But when he followed, he realized and understood the whole scenario behind it. And we can't deny the instructions from our spiritual master, because it is indirectly coming from Krishna itself. And Krishna will show his mercy only if the instructions being followed. So in this verse, I realized that how important it is for us to follow the instructions, even if we cannot follow them all in all, but we still know that there is somebody on us that we are working for, to please Krishna through our spiritual master. So that's what I realized. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you very much for your nice realizations and sharing them. So this particular verse, as everybody has mentioned before, is a continuation of the previous verse, And there are some differences in the translation also of the two, but more or less it connotes the same meaning. And is that all these great warriors, therefore get up and prepare to fight. After conquering enemies, will destroy. Excuse me, this is the previous verse we're talking about. Therefore, get up and prepare to fight. After conquering your enemies, you will destroy a flourish. You will enjoy a flourishing kingdom. They are already put to death by my arrangement, and you, Sabyasachi, can be but an instrument in the fight. And today's it is the blessed Lord said, all great warriors Drona, Bhishma, Jayadratha, Karna are already destroyed. Simply fight, and you will vanquish your enemies. And the changed one is Drona, Bhishma, Jayadratha, Karna, and other great warriors have already been destroyed by me. Therefore, kill them and do not be disturbed. Simply fight, and you will vanquish your enemies in battle. So, and Srila Prabhupada mentions about how the plan of the Lord, if every living being follows the plan of the Lord, then there will be peace in this whole world. And to qualify that everybody should follow the plan of the Lord, not whimsically. That is the reason why Prabhupada talks about the role of the spiritual master. And the definition of spiritual master is given as one who understands the plan of the Lord and can teach the plan of the Lord to the masses. So that means people will then be able to understand the plan of the Lord, and then everybody is happy. So the main thing is that plan of the Lord. That is the most important thing. Whenever we try to face situations, these are very easy words to say, but very difficult to implement. That when we face any difficulties or any situations, we must try and see the plan of the Lord. These are the words used by devotees. But when we are facing the difficulties, it is very difficult to face this. But as we come out of it, so when some time goes by, then we realize I can now see the plan of the Lord. So there is a reason why it is mentioned that devotees, when they face difficulties, they get realizations. For non-devotees, when they face difficulties, they get pain. Yes, pain converts into realizations for everybody. They realize according to their own capacity and own thinking about the pains that they are getting. That is for sure. So there is a reason why correct understanding and correct realizations are very important. Otherwise, every man with a dog has his opinion, which is different from other person's opinion, who also is a man with a dog. So everyone has their own opinion and they fight. What is good for me may not be good for you. So how do we save ourselves from this conflict? As you all are preaching, you will come across this point. As we have come across in our lives in preaching many times this point. So that is the reason why it is mentioned that a preacher, a Krishna conscious person, not necessarily preacher, but a Krishna conscious person, his heart nobody can follow, nobody can understand. Even as devotees, we don't understand other devotees' thinking. So that is the reason why it is very imperative that we all think from the point of view of Krishna. And that is the reason why we all study from Srila Prabhupada's books. So overall, the overarching philosophical understanding is through Srila Prabhupada's books only. And what Prabhupada are saying. That's why it's called Jagat Guru. That is why Prabhupada wrote the books. We may have different segments, different sects, but ultimately we come back to the books. You see, what does the book say? And based upon our understanding, we implement it. Most important thing is no fighting. We carve our way out. We anticipate. It's very important to anticipate. If you can't anticipate, it doesn't matter. But don't be baffled. Just carve the way out. So the solution should always be there with us. And the solution is very simple. Krishna's hand in everything. Human beings will force us to respect them. We are not different. I'm no different. But as Maharaj says, Guru Maharaj says, respect Bhagavatam and everybody will be respected. Do not be caught up with people, son. Be caught up with Bhagavatam. Maharaj would say this. So there is a reason why we have to take shelter of Bhagavatam. In shelter of Bhagavatam, meaning that, okay, one thing is to understand the pastimes of Krishna. That's all right. Second thing is to really understand the pastimes of Krishna, what happens and why it happens. Like for example, Krishna, when he goes into a cave, pitch dark cave, and then he can be seen. Difficult for him. How do you say this? Because Krishna, wherever there is Krishna, there is no darkness. So how can he go into a cave which is full of darkness? So this point should remain with us. Otherwise, it's just story. Oh, Krishna went there, he went in a cave, and there's a fight, and they'll come back, and it's all done and finished. But how is it that he goes into a cave which is full dark? We cannot go into any darkness because Jhan Krishna tar nahi Maya Radhika. Mahaprabhu says, Maya is that darkness. Krishna is full of light. So these are the things in which we should be caught up. Don't get caught up by on other superficial things. Moment we are caught up in these things, devotional service is going on. When we are caught up by other things, including devotees things, then we are obstructing our devotional service. I have learned this. I'm telling you this one fact. This is what Maharaj would like very, very much. Do not obstruct your devotional service. Bhakti should not be obstructed by anything. Maharaj performed disappearance pastimes in 2010. From 2009 onwards, Maharaj's tone completely changed with me. Every instructions Maharaj gave were final instructions, finality. I could feel it. Maharaj preparing, like me, every disciple probably, but I felt for myself at least. And this one thing stood out multiple times. Maharaj says, don't worry, it's okay. Bhakti cannot be checked. Bhakti should not be stopped. Artificially, it cannot be stopped. Including the fact that my mother-in-law, when she passed away, we wanted, because of she got initiated at the end, at her deathbed, by Maharaj. We had not seen her. Because Maharaj promised, whoever comes in your program will initiate them immediately. You need people. So I remember how we got that Diksha also. So there, when she passed away, we were doing the rituals, Shraddha, through Hindu traditions, in Maharashtrian way. So I asked Maharaj, is it okay, Maharaj? And then I'll do a small program in Vaishnava program later on. I said, don't worry. Nothing, bhakti should not be obstructed. Nothing stops bhakti. Don't worry about it. Just continue. So we artificially think this is obstructing bhakti, there is obstructing bhakti. Nothing is obstructing anything. Nobody is stopping you from chanting except you yourself. Nobody is stopping you from thinking about Bhagavatam except you yourself. People are bound to act in a way that they are going to act. Don't worry about them. Don't get caught up by people. Caught up with Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. So Krishna's plan works. And here Krishna is telling Arjuna, is naming those people, that all these personalities, they could defeat thousands of them, fighters. And they are called Maharathis. Means those gallant fighters who sit on the rathas and elephants. Thousands of them. They are killed by each of them. It's impossible to kill and destroy Karna because he had the benediction of sun god. Very powerful. He could not be killed. It's impossible to kill him. It's impossible to kill Bhishma Pitama. He had got the benediction that he will die whenever he wants to die. How will you kill the person? And he is the chief, the commander of the opposition party. How will you kill? Even if he doesn't want to kill you, but you can't kill him. And unless he is killed, you cannot win the war. It's impossible to kill and win the war. Just see. Even Yudhishthir was a pet disciple of Balaram, Lord Balaram. How will you kill him? So that is the reason why you require Krishna and follow Krishna's orders. And Kali Yuga, we are so fallen. Although Krishna says, surrender unto me, we will carve out a definition of it to say it's not surrender unto Krishna, but something else which is surrendered into and then surrender to Krishna. I can tell you guaranteed, unless Prabhupada would say this, you'll never understand this point. Aham, Saraswati Prabhu. We always say, hey, Shiva is also Aham, Ganesha is also Aham, I am also Aham, Krishna is also Aham. This is the pure devotee's touch. This is the touch of a devotee, of our Guru, Jagat Guru. How much Srila Prabhupada has done for this world? If we start to count, we cannot even count. So least we can do is to be part of that change. Change ourselves and help change people. If they want to, otherwise we are changing ourselves. People see the change in us and they will change. Moment they see we are very peaceful, they want to become peaceful. How to become peaceful? For that, you come and follow us. You can understand. We don't force anybody. So this is the point. Be the change that you want to change, and people who want to change will change with you. We cannot force them. Initially, yes, we have to sit down, make them talk, and all those things. You have to make them understand. That's right. After some time, be the change. Forget about it. Just move on. Keep your bhakti going. Don't get caught up by people. Be caught up with Bhagavatam, son. Guru Maharaj says this. So this is how it is. And this is a speciality of Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj. Otherwise, how is it possible, Maharaj would tell me, how is it possible for you to preach? This one man to stand alone and preach. It's impossible in this chaos going on in the yatra. Whole yatra was burning. So how is it possible for this one man to stand and preach alone? This Krishna is doing only then. So many times Maharaj said, I said, so many times I rejected this. I said, no, Maharaj. So the Maharaj mercy. And this is the fact. Because Maharaj are praying for us. Even now, every single day. It is foolish to think that a pure devotee leaves and goes and finish. It's gone. You're on your own. How ridiculous is that? And that you follow the proper order and you can go back on your own. How ridiculous is that? This one cannot make sense. If Prabhupada says that my books are going to be law books for 10,000 years, and that I'm not going to die, I'm alive in my books. What he says this, nobody's making any new thing for them. The Prabhupada has said himself, I'll never die. I'll be alive in my books. That's it. So please, 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 do as much as possible as you can. And we have got somehow Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj are there to help us out in this situation and to protect us from all these calamities. And we are continuing. We are very happy. That's it. Our happiness will be stopped when our bhakti is stopped. Please don't allow that to happen. Please don't allow. That much we should be careful about. Yes, everything is fine. No problem. Just move on. Help everyone to help yourself. That's it. We are not in charge of anybody, but we take voluntarily charge of people. If they reject us, we no problem. We just move on. Voluntarily we do it at no charge. We take charge at no charge. This charge is very interesting word. At no charge we take charge. Voluntarily we take charge, but we are not in charge. Hare Krishna. Okay. So Krishna's plan is always revealed, and only his plan works. We think that something is happening without his order, without his thinking. Even in his life, personal life, he had to go through turmoil to show people, just like us. When our name is tarnished, we have to protect it. Krishna's name was tarnished, he had to be protected. With cheats, taking his name, he had to reveal the cheats. All these things was going on. Okay. So I just thought all of you have shared very nice realizations. I thought some points I must mention. That's it, nothing else. Yeah. Anyone want to say anything? Please feel free. Hare Krishna.